Hello, everyone. You're welcome to another episode of Real Flows Podcast. On today's episode, we'll be talking about life after migrating. What do people go through after they leave their country to go to another country where they know nobody, where they know nothing, and how do they get integrated into the society. And today, as always, I have my boy Dio, and we'll be going to be talking about that life after migration. Take it away, Dio.
Hello, everybody. Once again, this is Dio, and thanks for joining Real Flows podcast. Wow, that's another great topic. Adjusting to um, my environment was a little easy for me to say because I felt like my mom did a great job to prepare me for you know now for this moment, and I've been here for 13 years. And just touching about my mom once again, man, she was my rock, she was my foundation, she was my superhero, she was everything that I needed in life to be able to be, performing on the level that I'm performing in right now. But with that being said, it wasn't easy. Uh, you know, when I came here in 2010, about 13 years ago, I remember that I was hit with the fact that I couldn't work. You need documentation, you need your
Right.
social security number to be able to get a job. And as a student, because I came in as a student you also, if you get a job on campus, you can work a certain amount, I think about 20 hours a week. By the time there still wasn't a job in the school, so I had to wash cars and drive valet. I remember for a good amount of years, about 5 to 6 years, I was sleeping about 3 4 hours a day because I had to make ends meet, and it was really hard. But what kept me going was what my mama told me, and she told me, very simple. There's a saying in the Bible that says, "Treat people the way you want to be treated," and she just told me
Absolutely.
that that was wrong. That's what she told me when I was a
Mm,
kid, and I was like, "What do you mean that that's wrong?" Because she told me that the way she want to be treated is different from the way my dad wants to be treated and the way I want to be treated. The way Kelechi wants to be treated is different from the way your brother wants to be treated, or your sister wants to be treated. So the gift of life is to be able to understand how to treat individual people. And me understanding that, I was
mm.
able to navigate into my community. I was able to adjust to my community. I was able to treat people exactly the way they want to be treated. And that's what kept me going for a very long time. And I was able to go through those moments where I was just ready to go back home. I did have those moments, but then again, Iraq, which was my mom, the saying the things that she taught me, and she's prepared me for this moment.
That's great, And honestly, I'm gonna just be truthful about it. Life after you migrate, it's difficult.
It
It
is.
is it is hard, very very hard. When you're an immigrant, you just moved to a country where you know no one, you know nothing about the country, you don't even understand the laws. Sometimes you don't
Right.
even know what to do and what not to do. You don't even know what you could do that could get you in trouble real quick, you know, little things like that. And it's difficult and it takes time, for you to be able to just get integrated with the society,
Right.
and adapt and start living the life, that dream life you wished, and that life that was the reason why you moved.
Right.
For me, it was difficult. You come in here, you don't have a social security number, you don't have an ID card, you don't have a driver's license. Basically, you can't get a job, because those are the requirements, those are the things you need to be able to even get a job to start with. And if you don't
Right.
get a job, how do you make money to survive? How do you make money to take care of yourself or pay your bills or get yourself going, get the necessary things you need. So it's a process. And that is the misconception out there that a lot of people have, especially
Mm-hmm.
people back home, either from all over the world, African countries, be it Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, Liberia, whatever it is, because I know, and which you could also attest to that, when we were back home, we just had this mindset that, man, I just want to travel to the United States, or I want to go to Canada, I want to go to the United Kingdom, and the moment I get there, then bam, that's it. Everything is going to be good. But you know that's not the case.
Right.
Yes, sometimes we feel like once I leave Nigeria and go to the United States, then that's the end of your problem. But I'm sorry to say, man, the moment you come to the United States, then that's the beginning of a major problem. That's when your problem actually starts,
Right.
because right now you're here. So what's next? How do you survive? How do you get the necessary documentations that could make you legal so you can legally get a job? you
Right.
know and that is the difficult part, which nobody talks about, and nobody thinks about. So for folks out there that are trying to migrate, just strategize and have a plan.
Right.
Your plan should just be, I want to travel out, or I want to go to the United States, or I want to go to Canada, I want to go to Italy or Spain or wherever it is. The plan should be, when I get there, how do I survive? That's what it is, which is very difficult. So I would say, prepare yourself mentally,
Mm-hmm.
for this journey. Prepare yourself mentally for this journey, because it's not an easy task. Trust me. There are times where I, I felt like that sometimes, where I was like, was I better off just staying back in Nigeria?
Right.
Because you get to that point where you be like, really? So yeah, it's difficult if you ask me, man.
Yeah. And I just want to add more to that. So if somebody come to the United States, I'll
Right.
say the first 5 to 6 or 7 years of your life, it's not in your hands. It's not under your control.
At all.
The first 5 6 years, and that's why and I'm saying this because for people back home in Nigeria, when people come to America, the conception is that, hey, when will you start sending money back home, right?
Oh.
When will you be able to start sending money back home? A
Yep.
year, 6 months?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying this because I want people to understand 5 years of your and there's no way for us to be able to communicate or say this to people, because even if you say this to somebody like your friend or family, they'll think, oh no, he's just bullshitting. But I'm saying this for those people watching this video. You don't know me from Adam. If you have any family member out here in America and they just go MIA on you, they they are trying to figure out their life. They're trying to figure out the next move and how to adjust into the whole system, getting papers alone, which we're going to talk about in upcoming episode. Is a different ball game.
Yeah, you're right. You're right on that. Um, yeah, you hear and you have people back home and they just think, hey, is that, trust me, 3 days after I left Nigeria, 3 days after I left Nigeria, man, I had people, I had people calling me talking about send me some dollars. 3 days, 3 days
For
after I left,
real.
and I'm like, dude, I don't even know the name of my street yet. Like, what are you
Wow.
talking about? So,
Yeah.
it's
That's a
yeah.
different pressure though on you, right?
Oh
Because you feel
yeah.
like you letting people down.
Oh yeah. And that is the problem. And that's why you have immigrants that have been in the United States. Let me talk about the United States, that have been in the United States for 20, 30 years, and they are not even legal yet.
True.
They don't have no documentation. They don't have no social
True.
security number. They don't have nothing to make them legal.
True.
Okay. And they're just
Yeah.
trying to survive. And they've been trying to survive for the past 20, 25, 30 years.
30 years.
Some
Right.
of them would even be better off in Nigeria. But guess what? They can't even go back home.
Right.
Because if I go back home right now, what do I tell people at home that I was in America doing for 20 to 30 years
30
of my
years.
life,
The pressure is different.
and
So what you're saying is the longer you stay, the more the pressure.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely, because you come in, you go through that pressure, and it's more like, okay, I'm trying to make it, and you have people back home that are always asking, I need you to do this, I need this to get done, and and you have all that pressure, and you're like, damn, I got bills every month to pay. I pay my house rent every month. It's not like Nigeria where you could pay it once a year and you forget about it.
true.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have bills to pay and you have all this pressure, and people expect the longer you've been in America, they believe the more successful you should be. You understand? But that's not the way it is in real life. That's not the way it is in real life. Those things are just speculations and what people just think and what they tell you America is, or the life in America is, which which is not the case, you know. So I mean, like I said earlier, this is a journey you have to be mentally prepared for. Otherwise, you're gonna come
Right,
in here and you're gonna break. You're gonna
right,
break. You have to
right,
be mentally prepared for this journey, you know?
right, right.
And
True.
yeah. And that's all I have for now. And on next episode, we'll be talking
Mm,
about cultural shock.
mm,
Cultural shock. What were the things you saw for the first time and you were like, wait, hold on, wait a minute. what's going on right here? What's happening? What were the cultural shock to you when you
right.
first came to the United States? We'll talk about that on next episode, and make sure you tune in
Awesome.
and catch that. Peace.